Okay, this is problem number 3 for the circles benchmark. I'll read it aloud. Mr. and Mrs. Robinson just purchased a new sprinkler in order to water their lawn. From wherever the sprinkler is positioned, the sprinkler waters the grass up to a distance of 8 meters, and the sprinkler head rotates 120 degrees. The diagram below shows the range of the sprinkler, where the dark gray area shows the portion that is watered by the sprinkler. What is the area in square meters of the grass that is watered by the sprinkler? Round your answer to the nearest square meter. So let's think about a few things right here. Are we talking about area or perimeter or arc length here? We're talking about area, namely because it asks us what is the area in square meters. Now, the area of what? We're talking about the area of the grass that is watered. And it tells us in the problem, and it gives us this nifty diagram here, the sprinkler head is right here, and perhaps you've seen a sprinkler like this, in someone's lawn or something like that. It rotates. So it starts over here and then and rotates and goes back. And then and rotates and then rotates back. So it rotates in a circular motion, but it does not do an entire circle. It only does 120 degrees, as it tells us right here in the problem. So what I'm going to do is, we want to find the area of just the ground that is covered, and I will basically just highlight that in green. So that is what we want to find the area of, just the area, just the grass that is covered. But in reality, this sector that I just highlighted in green, and this is a sector, is actually part of a circle. It's a fraction of the circle. And what I'm going to do right now is just attempt to This is kind of just a rough, probably kind of a pretty bad drawing, but as you can see, the entire pink line is the entire circle, but we just want to find the area of this green area that's watered. We want to find the area of that sector. So when dealing with arc length and area of sectors, again, we are doing part of the circle over whole circle. The question is, what fraction of the circle is this green area, is this sector? So, well, is it half of the circle? Is it more than half? Is it less than half? It looks less than half, and we know because 1/2 would be 180 degrees, and as you can see here, this is 120 degrees. But the fraction of the circle this is 120 degrees out of 360 degrees. So our proportion of 120 over 360 applies to the sector area over the circle area. So we're trying to find the sector area, but we can calculate the circle area first. So let's do that. So the area of the circle is the area equals, and if you don't remember the formula, it's on your reference sheet. Area equals pi r squared. So pi r squared, where area equals pi times the radius, which it tells us is 8 meters. So the area equals pi times 64. So the area equals 64 pi square meters. Or as a decimal, 64 times pi equals 296 hundredths square meters. That is the area of the entire circle. That is some of you put 200 as the answer to this problem on the spring interim. But that's not what we're looking for. We're just looking for the green sector, the area that the water reaches. So we're going to come back to our proportion here, which is 120 over 360, which equals, I'm calling x, that's the sector area that we want to find, over the area of the circle, which we just found, which is 200.96. Now let's think about this. Do we think that the area of the sector is going to be half of the area of the circle? Like, is it going to be around 100? Because 100 is basically half of 200. I mean, I think it's going to be less than 100 because the area of the sector is less than half of the circle. So we can cross multiply and divide right here. And what you could do, if you recognize that this is 1/3, 120 over 360, you could simplify this fraction right here to 1/3. But let's just multiply it out just in case you forget to simplify. So 360 times x is 360x. 120 times 200.96 equals 24,115.2. Again, we're trying to solve for x, so we're going to divide by 360, divide by 360. So we get x equals 66.98 square meters. So the area of the sector is 66.98 square meters. Now our last step, the question asks us to round your answer to the nearest square meter. So basically the nearest whole number. So we're going to look at the 9, our tenths place, and the 9 tells our ones place right here to round up. So the nearest square meter is 67 square meters. So our answer to this problem is 67 square meters.